Now I'll show you how to navigate OU Campus using the global navigation bar. That's that blue bar at the very top of the page. And that global navigation bar includes everything from the dashboard, content, reports, add-ons. We have a search up at the top, our username, and help. Right now I'm in a page I've been working on, and maybe I want to start at the beginning. I want to go to the dashboard, and we can get there in 3 different ways. We can hover on dashboard and click on overview. We can actually click on dashboard, or we can click on the WSU logo in the top left. All of those will take us here. So this is our dashboard overview. We'll see we have some boxes here. These are gadgets. These are just a few of the gadgets that OU Campus offers. If I hover on dashboard, I also have workflow and inbox, and we can also see those in the dashboard itself. So we can access those in a couple different ways. The workflow is very similar to an inbox. It's a messaging system between 2 OU users, except it's specifically used for approving content back and forth between 2 users. So if I make a change to a page, I might submit that for approval to my boss. He'll receive a notification in his workflow, and he can then look at the page, see if there are any changes that need to be made, and respond back or publish the page. All of that communication will happen in workflow. Inbox is very much like an email within OU Campus. So you can send and receive messages to and from other OU Campus users. You'll also receive some notifications in there. So if I publish a bunch of pages, I might receive a notification that says, you published 6 pages successfully. All of that communication will happen in Inbox. If I want to compose a new message, I'll click the green Compose button in the top right. If I want to see messages I've sent, I can choose Sent from that list on the left. If we hover over content and click on pages, that takes us to the top level of our folders. Every file, every folder that exists in OU Campus is within these folders here. If I click on assets, you see it's just a long list of assets. So if we have access to those files, we can click on them, we can make changes, we can edit them, we can create new assets if we want to. If I click on Recycle Bin, it's very similar. It's a long list of all the files that have been recycled. I can search for my file. If I've accidentally recycled one, I can recall that if I need to. You might also notice that under our global navigation bar, there's a gray bar there. That's kind of our breadcrumb trail for where we are in the OU Campus website. After content, we have reports, and there's a long list here: required actions, checked out content, pending approvals, scheduled actions, recent saves, recent publishes. All of those are fine. If you want to access those, you can. The one I really want to point out here, though, is required actions. And if I click on that, it automatically takes me to broken pages under that required actions. So this is a list of all of the broken pages that you have access to. So if you're just getting started, kind of cleaning up your pages, fixing things up, this is a good place to start because you can go through, see all of the broken pages that are on your site, and start fixing those. Lastly, from the left side of that menu, from that global navigation bar, we have our add-ons, and this is a really helpful menu. So first we have our WSU Zenfolio gallery. That's a gallery of all of the stock images, the WSU themed stock images that Strategic Communications provides. If we click on that, it takes us to that gallery where we can sign in and search and download all of the photos that we may need for our pages. Be aware that these are really large images and they'll need to be edited before you add them to your pages. Next, we have a link to our website support form. So if I click on that, you'll sign in with your MyWSU ID and password, and you'll come to a form where you can request user access, request a custom short URL, point out any site trouble or issues that you run into. If you have a search problem, searching for your name on the website or searching for your department on the website or your page on the website. If you're searching for your page on the website and it shows up at the bottom of those results, you'll need to fill out a support form for that. We can help you. And then there's an other option. So if your issue doesn't quite fit one of those categories, just submit it with other and we'll figure it out. So any other issue you run into, you can fill out this form and get help. Under that, we have a link to our content management system training calendar. So if you've registered for any of the basic trainings, we have open labs as well. You can go there and see a schedule of all of the trainings we have for OU Campus and register if you need to. Under that, we have a link to our frequently asked questions and glossary of terms. If you're having an issue and you kind of want to figure it out on your own, this can be a really good place to start. Below that, we have our landing page and standard page snippets guides. So we have 2 page types if you're not aware. There's a landing page and a standard content page. If you want to see what those layouts look like, you can click on these guides. You may also utilize snippets on these types of pages, and so you can actually see what those look like without having to test them out one at a time. Under those, we have our web style guides, and if you click on that, we have our standard snippets guides and our landing page snippets guides there as well. We also have image guidelines or digital messaging guidelines. So if you have questions about photo dimensions or what type of content I should include on my pages, this is a really good place to check out. Now, if we move over to the right side of our global navigation bar, we have a search there, a global search. This is just a search of the entire OU Campus site. So maybe there's a file that you can't seem to find. You know you uploaded it somewhere, but you're not quite sure where because it's not where it should be. You can search there, and you might be able to find it with that tool. To the right of that, you should see your username. And if you hover on your username, you should see Settings and Logout. And if we click on Settings, we can go here. We can edit our first name, our last name, phone number, and email if we need to. And we can also see some other information about our profile. Things like which user level we are, what tools that we have access to, etc. If I go back to that username and I hover over that, there's also the option to log out. So that's where you'll log out if you need to. Lastly, in the very top right, there's Help. This is specific to OU Campus. So any of these help options are going to be options provided by OU Campus. If you have any issues whatsoever, I really recommend using the web support tool that I showed you earlier. But if you want to dig around and you kind of want to do some reading about OU Campus and some of these tools that maybe you can't find, I would recommend going to Support. And if I click on that, it takes me to OU Campus's support site. You can browse around there, look for information, and kind of check out what they've got going on. They'll post any updates, that sort of thing will happen here. Be aware that we don't have all of the tools that OU Campus offers. And sometimes if we get new tools, those items aren't always updated on this site as quick as they're offered. And so you may not see some of those tools. Be aware of that, but there is some helpful information here you might find. So feel free to browse around there. That's the global navigation bar. Now, you should feel comfortable navigating the OU Campus site, getting where you need to be, or finding your way back to the dashboard if you get lost.